Today I'm going to do this teardown of this ASIN here, which I found really interesting product in a niche that's exploding a little bit at the minute. So if you look here at the search volume for pumpkin seeds, you can see over the past few years it's continuously growing, and at the start of 2025 we're seeing really high growth here. So I think there's a big opportunity for this product. So I just wanted to run through that. Whilst we're seeing kind of really big growth in the niche itself, this product is kind of not following the same growth trajectory. So there is a kind of slight increase in sales across the all-time sales for this product, but nothing like the difference between 2023 and 2025 compared to the search volume. You're only seeing kind of like a moving days 14 to 20, high 20s 30s here. So a doubling of kind of sales where there's more opportunity for the search volume that I've identified. So I'm going to run through basically a few things that I think this listing could do better to try and increase the sales. First things first, I'll look at some of the competitors. So if I open up here and sort by revenue, you can see here the product I'm looking at is quite far down. So we're averaging kind of 4,700 at the ASIN level, 11,000 at the parent level. But like some of these top sellers in this category are doing 27,000 at the ASIN level, 11,000 at the ASIN level. Again here, double the sales on the top position. 4 to 10 are kind of doing double the sales. So again, shows plenty of room for growth. And I think really few basic things they can do. They rank quite well. So if I search for pumpkin seeds, their SEO is pretty good in terms of the rank. So they're ranking third, I can see here. But if I go on to like a brand analytics in Amazon, I can see here, for example, that actually they don't appear for any. They're not one of the top 3 click products for any of the terms. So here I'm looking at just kind of pumpkin seeds. If I grab the ASIN and search for it, just do a quick search there, it doesn't appear at all. So more opportunity here. So ranking well but not being clicked. So that for me comes back to their main image. They're obviously showing quite high up when I search for pumpkin seeds, which is the main term for this category, but the main image could be optimized perhaps. The image is big, which is good. If I look at it on this product page here, I would be testing certain things like, a lot of these products here, pumpkin seeds is really obvious, stands out, the keyword. Doesn't really come across in this listing. Neither does like the fact that the price difference here. So this Amazon pumpkin seeds is at £3.50. Here we're selling at £8.83. But that's due to pack size really. You got 3 times as much, so it's almost not quite, but almost 3 times the price. I think 1 kilo. In fact, this is 1 kilogram needs to be more obvious, as do on this one. That's 1.8, for example, but. I think that would help a long way. I'd probably test some different variations of the main image, kind of like Seven Hills have done here with some seeds out on the side, little things like that to see how you can drive that click-through rate up. If we move on to kind of like the next thing, so looking at the actual list again, like some of the good things they've got here, they've got the voucher on Subscribe and Save, which does stand out. They've got really good reviews, high kind of social proof with 500 bought and the 4.7 star rating, I think it is. But once you get into the listing here, if they're ranking well, they're not getting a lot of clicks because they're not appearing in the top 3 clicks, and then they're obviously not selling loads compared to the competitors because they're not appearing in any of those top 3 positions either, and the revenue's not as high as the competitors. So I think when we get onto that, we need to look at the listing and what's perhaps not converting and not driving sales. So straight away, the secondary images for me really rough kind of pack shots. Doesn't really tell me anything about the product. This one in particular, like doesn't look great. Kind of looks like just been shot on a mobile phone in the back of a warehouse, for example. I think there's a real opportunity here. If I look at some of these other, if you look even at the Amazon listing or the top organic ranking products here, the bar is really low in this niche. So again, it's just pack shots, really basic kind of USP call outs and some nutritional values. This one here again, it's really basic kind of secondary images, nothing really coming out. So I'll be looking at kind of optimizing these secondary images. I think one good place to get some information for that is kind of from the in Seller Central, the growth opportunities. So if I look at this here, there's if we search for chai seeds, because there's no niche for pumpkin seeds, unfortunately, so we can't go to that level. But if we search for seeds, we can get a good idea from chai seed supplements, the sort of things that are coming out in customer reviews that are driving impact on star rating. Is things like nutritional content, value for money, quality overall, taste overall. If I scroll down here, you can see it's better. So value for money, nutritional content. These are the sort of things that I'd be putting into the listing. So, okay, what's the benefit of pumpkin seeds, for example? How does it taste? The value for money, the quality. So that's what that secondary image is doing here, where it's talking about the highest grade. I'd just pull that out into something a bit more appealing and something that makes that really obvious. You can barely even read the highest quality grade thing. I don't know what GWSAA means, so again, just making that really simple for the customer. You can then so I'll be pulling some of that information in here. The size, maybe that's something that needs to be clearer, like we said on the main image. That's contributing negative. So yeah, I'd be looking at pulling that out in the main images, in the secondary images. Sorry. We scroll down to the A+ content here, looking at that. The main thing here really is that this A+ looks like it's a standard kind of A+ that's been applied to a number of ASINs. So the main kind of products that are highlighted in this comparison chart here, and the product we're looking at actually isn't even included. So we've got pumpkin seeds here as part of a mixed seeds pack, but not really this, just pumpkin seeds on its own. So first thing I'd do is correct that, produce an A+ that kind of just talks about pumpkin seeds. I think there's enough to warrant that here. If you made these changes and you kind of double your sales, you're kind of making that payback within the first month. But here we've got some interesting things that I would kind of pull out. So we've got this comparison chart here, assuming that they apply to these pumpkin seeds, but things like natural ingredients, that's something that we should pull into the secondary image as well. So you could have like a little kind of like they do on the Amazon here, kind of something like this that has like maybe natural ingredients. The kind of healthy keto stuff, again, we've seen that's kind of like one of the top purchase drivers or positive review drivers. So again, just pulling that out into the secondary images would definitely help. There's also some things here that's quite nice, but again, could be better executed. So how you could use the seeds for like cooking, baking, blending, garnishing, sort of stuff like that. Again, that's probably stuff that could go up here as well, just to kind of show how you could use these. But generally, I'd use this kind of A+ space to expand a little bit on this stuff, just for the pumpkin seeds. So talking about how you could use it, kind of how people tend to use pumpkin seeds and kind of how it would fit into your daily lifestyle. And here you could have a comparison chart of more the different pack sizes and things like that are specifically rated to pumpkin seeds, and maybe like a brand story would be a better way to kind of showcase all the different types of seeds that you have available. So yeah, I think overall, if the team did make those kind of changes, I think they would see quite a big change in sales here. We could, if we look at the kind of the top, if we go back to like the top sales in the category, we're looking at potentially driving up to 27k in revenue as the top seller. So definitely room to grow. Search volume is on the up. So definitely loads of opportunity for this product. So yeah, those would be the areas where I would start. If you like this video, please do give me a subscribe and check out some of my other ASIN reviews. You can also check the description below to get access to my ASIN Optimiser checklist, which has 30 checkpoints, which I kind of use as a point of reference from anything from SEO down to hero image optimization and A+ content optimization. So yeah, see you on the next one.